Hello everyone, it's Fire Emblem 6 Ranked. Once again, we're in Chapter 4, and we are due for another dazzling display by the dashing and delightful divisor of deployment, Altissimo. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you doing today?
I'm alright. Maybe a little sick, don't worry about it though. I'm not dying. Hopefully your units aren't either. Probably hardest chapter in the early game until Chapter 7 hits for many reasons. Like, not just for like a rank playthrough where you gotta do a bunch of stuff, like train different units, visit houses, train more units, play somewhat fast maybe. But it's just like, just surviving is a challenge of its own. And I don't know how much this will actually differ from a normal playthrough with that in mind, because I feel like just by playing this chapter naturally you already end up distributing experience, because Marcus can't do everything on his own, and neither can any of your other units. So you just kind of have to gang up enemies. But it's also really annoying because the units that need to kill the most are probably going to be the ones that struggle by far the most to kill like any Cavaliers, like, you know, the Fighter Squad, Shanna, Lou, Wolt. The fighters might be okay if they hit a halberd. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think, is the halberd on chat right now?
I don't remember where it is, but I do have it somewhere. And yes, it is, you know, probably the best option against Cavs, which is awful considering how horrible the accuracy is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I make it work because of slight RNG manipulation, but for a normal run, you can't rely on that.
Alright, I don't see a halberd on Wade.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Chad is
okay,
here. Alright, he's giving it to Lot. Alright. You can give it to Marcus if you give him to, if you can get into the axis, but I don't think you like did that.
No, I don't even think I put a single axe on Marcus at any point. I know that that's the strat, but since I'm not trying to level up Marcus or, you know, make a whole lot of use of Marcus, that wasn't really on my radar. But yeah, I know that you can do that, and it's probably the best thing to do with that.
Yeah. It helps a lot because Marcus doesn't get doubled while he's holding the halberd, unlike the fighters, and he also is a lot more accurate, but it does want to KO them if he uses it, so it's not great for your XP rank. Would help with your combat rank though, which I assume is the other big challenge for this chapter, is not like 4-hit KOing every single cav and losing that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't try very hard for the combat rank in the early chapters, apart from like just not sending 3 units to kill something that only takes 2 units to kill. But I can't try that hard this early because I just don't have the firepower to do it without making Marcus kill everything. So, like, my improvements to the combat rank are going to be coming later in the run.
Is that a consequence, or I guess a part of why you had to reroute the game in the first place? It's like, because you fixed it in the late game, not the early game?
I mean, that was... Yeah, when I did the reroute, it ended up better. Because this is the chapter that I had to reroute from. Something happened in this chapter and I wasn't able to follow my notes exactly, and I just ended up having to redo the entire run. But the second time around, I was a lot better off on my combat rank at the end of the game, and I think that was because the first time around I knew the combat rank was suffering, so I tried a little harder for the rest of the game this time around. But even with that in mind, there are still some early chapters where you just can't do a whole lot.
That makes
just
sense.
Because your units are too weak compared to the enemy strength.
So you're moving Roy forward, or Horse forward, excuse me.
He
Roy
needs
got moved
to do
to
something. He needs to do something.
He sure does. Yeah, I wonder if this is like an actual like top 5 map to train boars in. There probably isn't a top 5. There's just the bottom 5, and one of them is at the top of it.
It's just the bottom 5. Yeah.
I say 5 as if you only need to do it for 5 chapters, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be more than 5 chapters.
That's what I was so curious about, because there's only so many deployment slots later on, and it's like, there's I guess, like I said before, there's not that many people like boars. There's a couple, but there's more units that are mid than there's units that are actually bad. So maybe I'm overestimating the mountain, but it definitely is a mountain. But this is it's a nice digital, like, diagonal formation here. Holy.
I don't remember the point.
I mean,
other than like to protect some units, but
yeah, I mean, Chad is hiding behind the bush. That's smart. Nice 46 hit rate, Wade. Very good. The sad part is I'm pretty sure that's a sword calf, but it still looks really awful for him.
Nothing is good for these fighters. They're also not in support range right now. Wait, yeah, they are. Never mind. Forgetting support range for a second there.
Oh yeah, because you have C between the calves and C between the fighters at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice 1 HP Roy.
Yeah.
Using the rapier, you know, a few times he gets to do it.
It's pretty good.
It's not effective like it should be. Yeah.
It's pretty nice, especially against sword calves, because then he doesn't lose the might from the weapon triangle. But even against lance calves, it can be more damage than, I don't know, Wolt, I guess.
Yeah.
And, we got Invincible Clarine coming up. Again, at least one good thing about this chapter for you is you don't have to like really rush in. In fact, if you do, you're probably dead to Rutger, so you might as well take it a little slow. But you do want to catch calves as they come. Like, you want to try and set up the best possible enemy phase on them when they're coming at you, so that when it's your turn, you have the ability to finish them off. You don't have to fight full health calves on player phase.
Yeah, so this turn went really well. Like, I got hit by a lot of dudes, but was able to make short work of all of them, and I'm setting up for Clarine so that she can actually talk to Roy. That's why I rescued him, because she's not in range to talk to Roy this turn otherwise. Yeah,
I'm really impressed with the HP management in particular, because you don't want to use vulneration. It's very clear by the way you play. But which means that poor Ellen has to do all the healing by herself. And even though she just got a men's stat from Chapter 3, there's still a lot to do for her. And Clarine's help will probably be appreciated a lot by her. Oh,
yeah. Just moving out of the way, I think. I think he was in the way of Clarine talking to Roy before.
Oh, yeah. I was like focused on the trade with Marcus, equipping him with a javelin. I feel like the archer still has a target that doesn't have a javelin, but we'll see.
It might, I don't... no?
Yeah, well... I mean, technically, yeah, but it's someone with a 2-range weapon, that's different.
Yeah.
And we get Clarine, still invincible, besides by the reinforcements, so... I don't know. I hope you do use her as a wall eventually. It'll be very funny if you do. Were you aware of that when you played this game?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay, I figured.
I don't remember if it comes into play or not.
It's always so great when your walls like Marcus and Clarine standing next to each other, protecting everyone else who's actually trained in combat.
Ridiculous.
Wolt finishing up on Archer.
Yeah, so for those who don't know what Becca was talking about there, though, on this map, Clarine joins, and even when she's on your team, enemy units will not fight her, except for the ones that are reinforcements.
And I believe the boss
the ones
as well.
that started the map.
If you were foolish enough to put it next to him.
I don't know why you'd be doing that.
They probably have a combo.
This means, I wonder, you can't even really trigger. No.
What? No.
I guess you could.
I mean,
I'm curious now.
I mean, if the boss attacks her, surely they have a combo. I mean, I know Narshan has a combo with a bunch of people, so the combos exist in this game. I just don't know if this one has one.
Does Rutger even have a combo with him? Though? Because he's got like more screen time with Rutger.
True.
They're not really good about boss combos in this game the way they are in FE7.
Yeah. There's not a lot, but they do exist. But there's no reason to try to Clarine one for sure. I think a lot of people would wall the pirates with some unit with a sword. Sometimes it's Deacon, that's pretty safe. Sometimes it's Chad, and that's safe. I think it's using a force, and if it is 0 hit, if not, it's always going to be scary. You didn't block the reinforcements, but I guess that makes sense because you want their XP. You don't want to stop these guys from spawning. It does make the chapter a lot easier if you don't have them spawn, though.
Yeah, screw easy.
But hey, not a great way to make this really easy is not do it, and hey, here we are.
The easiest way to beat this run is to not to do the run.
Exactly. The only way to win is not to play. All right, Halberd Wade.
54 hit. Hell yeah.
RNG
Still
knowledge.
maybe like the best you can do.
Oh, that is always scary. Marcus, they see like 3 calves, some at full health, and Marcus is like, I'm gonna use my javelin to chip one. Good luck, guys. You can do the rest, right?
Yeah, well, Boris just did the rest.
Oh god! Oh god!
You got like the best level.
Wow. He's almost at Oswald's bases if you like remove 2 of each stat. I think.
What a terrible unit. And Oswin isn't getting hit for as much damage.
Poor guy. I mean, honestly, I think it's pretty workable right now. I do think if you put this Boris in like Chapter 6, he'd be kind of okay. I mean, Chapter 6 is like really easy, but it's workable now. It's a big improvement from chapter before. Any chapter that's lower than 3.
The biggest problem, isn't that he is a terrible unit, but the biggest problem about that is that, like, I feel like these maps are just so much bigger and require you to move faster than the ones in FE7 do, so having a knight is just not a good idea. It's just kind of like my personal thought about it. Like, on Chapter 6, you've got all the reinforcements coming in from behind and the ones coming up from the top that you want to fight, and if you open the doors, you have to be prepared for them, and it's just like, it doesn't really lend itself well to 4 movement.
Absolutely. And also just like, it's hard to raise a unit like this in a hostile map environment. It's like, there's later units that join with worse stats that are probably easier to train on boards just because the maps you're in are easier and your units are stronger at that point.
My controversial opinion is that Sophia is a better unit than Wendy because she at least has 2 range.
Mm-hmm. I can see
that's
it.
my...
Mm-hmm. I mean, for counting the guiding ring, I think Sophia's better as well, but I'd have to think about that take. That is an interesting one for sure. Anyway, the worst ambush reinforcements in arguably all farm, with Rutger just coming out of the field randomly, like just a random spot in the middle of nowhere. But you were aware, and so Rutger did not get to attack anyone, but he did walk right into your range, ready for recruitment. And now we have an extra unit that can actually fight very well.
We have, like, the best unit in the game.
Yeah, arguably. There are people who think Shanna's better than Rutger. That's their hot take. They exist.
Yeah, I've heard the arguments. Just for the way I play, flying is not important enough to make that be the case. But for other people, I could see how it would make sense.
Yeah, if you take this map as an example, one really good thing that Shanna can do is help block reinforcements, which is something you absolutely didn't want to do. So that just lowers her stonks by so much.
And so instead, she's forced to try to actually hit things, and she does not have great strength. So.
Yeah, but at least you have just like so many people to hit things with that if they can all safely attack, if they don't block each other off, you do have a lot of potential damage every turn, as long as you hit.
Yeah. Yeah, but you have to hit.
Yeah.
Which in this run isn't an issue because of like slight RNG manipulation, but for a regular run of this chapter, it's not nearly as easy. This looks easier than it is.
Yeah. If you had like a really bad string of RNs, like it would be really hard for you, but if you have some bad ones and some good ones, there will always be a good outcome. You just have to find it.
Yeah. I like how Roy is still at 1 health.
Yeah, Marcus is not approving of this overextension. He's like, Lord Roy, stay back. Roy's like, no, I gotta help out. I gotta reach level 20 before I promote. Marcus is like, that's not another 50 chapters. No, Marcus, I need to level up.
I must take the front lines, Marcus.
Yeah.
How can my fighters ever respect me if I don't?
Yeah.
Roy, you will die.
So they're fielding nomads. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Well, they're not right now because I killed them all.
Wow, I can't believe you would do that. Just because they're nomads.
Just because they're nomads, I killed them all.
Didn't you learn from Tellius that racism is bad? Oh my god.
I haven't played it, so no, I haven't learned that important lesson
That's
yet.
right. The only person who's played this much FE but hasn't played Tellius SMH.
Yeah, still just sitting on 1 through 3 and 6 through 8. Which is odd.
Consistent though. I mean, you're kind of ready to wrap up. Like, I remember there's like turn 20. No, it's not turn 20. It's like turn 8 reinforcements or something from the back. I usually like scared of firing them, but I think you're roughly at the pace of like draft racers for like Don Don's LTC basically with this. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, being able to kill like all the enemies in front of me just because I don't have to worry about hit rates as much is, pretty good for making progress. But I obviously a regular run where I'm doing something like this, there's going to be a lot more misses and therefore not as much forward progress because I have to like prepare for enemies that are still alive.
Yeah, that's the big thing about misses. When they're unexpected, it's really bad, especially for someone like Wade who is like the difference between I take 0 damage and I take 26 damage.
Right.
And almost die in the process.
So this is not representative of how this map normally goes. Just like most of this run is not representative of how Fire Emblem 6 normally goes.
Hey. But it worked. Oh, right. I forgot that Chad. He's not doubling some pirates? I forgot about that. That's so awful.
Yeah, he like needs a speed level or something, which is atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's unlikely for him to get a speed level. It's just kind of sad that he needs one in the first place.
Right.
The Deke is safe to step outside the forest because his bulk is good enough, and so Chad can take the kills. This is where you would train Chad. This is in the next chapter, if you were to do it.
Yeah, this is an excellent spot for it, so...
Yeah, it's reasonably safe. It probably is pretty bad for your combat rank if he's doing it all on his own, so Deke helping out is definitely important there.
And Lope, he's gonna be here too.
Right. Oh, and they could be building support. Interesting.
What's going on here?
This is my commentator voice. I don't know. All right. Looks like Myrnis has finished attending with Garrick Muck. Visited 3 houses.
And there's a support formation here as well.
Yeah. Curious. I thinking who's like good for the boss here, because Rutger's far away, Marcus is kind of far away, but I guess they could both get there within like 2 or 3 turns if you wanted them to. I don't even...
the amount of time it takes to deal with other like reinforcements, because I'm still gonna wait for them to dry up first.
Yeah, I'm actually curious, like, were there maps where... Because do you just fight reinforcements in every map, or are there maps where you're like, nah, that's too long to wait, I don't want to... Like, I don't need to know exactly which ones, but just like, did you always fight all the reinforcements, I guess is my question.
I do a lot of the time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just because tactics rank is a lot more lenient. So it's kind of like how in what was it? Dragon's Gate, chapter 20.
Oh yeah.
There's like reinforcements till turn 25 or something, but it's like no reasonable person is gonna take that long most of the time.
That was a long session. That was a long session.
Was.
I remember that one. I'm still recovering from it. I do remember
those speed level.
Oh, very nice. These the reinforcements in that chapter were particularly funny because it's like, as long as that chapter can be, if you're playing it normally, it's not gonna like be 26 turns long or whatever it was that Dragon's Gate was. Like, some reinforcements in Fire Emblem are just like baffling how long they take to spawn. I get it in like anti-turtling maps where they just want to create like an endless wave to get behind you, but for like Dragon's Gate, where they were like in the corners of the map near where the throne is, it's just a very odd choice. This chapter, they are just like a bunch of Cavaliers behind you that are very scary. Those definitely rolled me out before.
Look, I had to make sure that Roy wasn't going to fight any morphs during this run. I had to make sure of that when I was playing FE7, okay? And now I'm making sure that no, like, angry Bernese people are going to come after Roy's kids.
What? I'm so confused.
That's why I'm killing all the reinforcements.
Oh.
That's my explanation.
Understandable. Hey, this is your opportunity to find out if this boss one of kills Clarine.
I'm not doing that.
Okay, I'll just tell you, he probably does. It's surely he can hit for, what is it, 17 damage to want to kill Clarine? Probably.
It's 15 HP and
Wait, you're selling the robe! What?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not doing any stat boosters in this run. I forgot to mention that.
Right. I think you might actually have mentioned that and I forgot it. It's just still surprising to me to see someone like 7 HP, you mean 4,000 gold?
Yeah!
That is... So that was just like a... It's not a thing of like, that's just better for my fun track. This is like an additional layer of challenge on top of it, right? No stat
I did
boosters.
the same thing with FE7. There it was kind of forced because I couldn't really use any stat boosters due to funds rank. I didn't even use the boots. I could have, but it would have been tight. But in this case, it's a lot more free, but I just kind of figured I'd keep that same restriction just, you know, for the hell of it. Because obviously I like to hurt myself. As we've discussed.
I'm not gonna say makes sense because it doesn't, but I understand what you are telling me, and I acknowledge this.
You don't have to agree with it.
You don't have to agree with my philosophy. You just have to endure it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of, because the one thing stat boosters would do is make it more bearable to train bad units. Like, you would get someone out of 1 kill range, for example, to let them enemy feel stuff. It would be helpful.
If you were gonna do like a version of this with an RNG scrambler or something, it would probably make a lot of sense to keep those stat boosters. To assist with, you know, the fact that you're not sure if you're gonna hit or not.
Yeah. Alternatively, you can throw them on a unit that is like kind of durable, but not durable enough to tank like everything, and make them tank like everything. Like throw it on Rutger or Deke or something, or like a Cav that you promote, and that way they would become your like premier setter upper, like Flurry 9 Heath kind of were in FE7, where you can feel them almost every map and just gum enemies down to like 0 HP or whatever. Like, no, not 0, preferably like a number slightly higher than 0 to the a scrub finish off. I am a little concerned that there's like the worst of your army has gathered in the most threatening spot possible. It's like Rutger and a bunch of dummies are just sitting there. I guess they could grind for 1 turn and then you can always leave, but you haven't killed the boss yet. That's the problem. The heck? I guess if they're prioritizing Rutger, then Boris is actually really safe in that spot.
Yeah, he might have a javelin equipped, I don't remember. In which case they would not go for him with ranged attacks.
I forgot that some of these had javelins too. Is this group... There's no Silver Lance in here, right? It's just irons and like javelins sometimes.
I think the Silver Lance is chapter 7. I don't think it's on this map.
Yeah, I remember there was one there too. I just wasn't sure who was here as well. Because that is the real scary guy. That guy's like over leveled as well. These are just...
Yeah, I think if... Yep.
This is just annoying.
I wouldn't have sent this group.
Yeah, this group would not survive a Silverland. So alright, this is another Halberd case. Makes sense. Surprised you didn't set up a trade chain where they would both Halberd something. But I guess Lotus is here to mostly just support Wade.
I think I'm not going to be able to kill them all this turn.
Yeah. That's bad news for Rutger, I guess. He's a little low. Ellen could heal, but then Ellen would be in javelin range, depending on how this formation ends up. I mean, clearly you got a plan, because you're still making moves. You're not checking ranges or checking stats. Alright, how's Shanna doing anyway? Which is 6 strength, that's a lot, holy.
Yeah, it's not, like, I wasn't really hoping she would snowball. I mean, that's always the hope with Shauna. If you're not using her to fly around, it's great if you can get her to be a combat unit. I'm always in for a combat flyer. But it does not, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out because, surprise, she doesn't have a good strength growth or base.
I think 6 is 2 above her base, but like strength level ups on Shanna are like worth their weight in gold almost. Like it's like leveling speed on like a really slow unit. It's so good when she gets it because she doubles like everything, or she can use like a slim instead of an iron to gain doubling. Like it's so nice when she gets strength. Yeah,
she can do a lot in that case.
But I've also seen Shannas that just have that strength, but at level 2020, you know, it does happen.
Again, surprised she doesn't have a great strength growth, so that's bound to happen to some playthroughs. It's like there are some units where it's like if you can get them blessed in a certain way, like everyone wants to, but sometimes it just isn't feasible. Like Speed Lilina, for instance. It's like if you can get speed, like everyone wants a good Speed Lilina, but you're not guaranteed by any means to get that.
Absolutely. I think Lena has like a bigger hole to climb out of because like for her speed to be good enough to double, it takes a lot. Whereas I think every strength level up on Shanna just matters so much. Like even if she only gets 1, if she gets it early, that's still just so good.
Yeah.
Shanna was not in lethal range there. I think Lot was using the halberd on any phase there, and like he would just one shot a guy that attacked him.
Yeah, that was why I traded to.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna finish that turn, so I was like, well, they might go for Lot, so let me do this, and they did.
Marcus did make it to Eric. He's starting to gum him down. This is when I think Marcus doesn't really fall off against generic enemies, but he definitely does become a lot worse against bosses because he doesn't have an effective weapon on this one, like with the Armor Slayer in previous maps, or just like the Chapter 1 Brigand guy or the fighter. Yeah. And Lot, he got 9 speed from that one level up. Well, he got 2 9 speed from that level up, so he doubled a Cav that doesn't get the extra harpo bonuses from being a reinforcement.
Lot can be okay with some nice level ups early game, but I don't really think there's ever been like a good long-term Lot just because his stats don't keep up.
He has a good promo bonus. Like he's like a big power spike in the middle. There's like one person on the Fire Room subreddit when we were making a FE6 tier list that was vehemently arguing Lot for A tier, which I thought was really way too high. But everyone else was downvoting them because they disagreed, which is how Reddit works apparently.
Awful.
Like I don't agree with it. Like I think Lot has like roughly the same stats as Echidna after he promotes, basically. Well, at least offensively, which is like it's fine, but it's not great for a unit you trained up, you know.
Yeah, and you know axes just don't ever really become good.
He needs killer axes. Strength and speed on the chat.
It's nice to see.
Okay, if you hit again with Marcus, Eric is dead. That's good.
And I think, we're on the last, like, reinforcements here, too.
Yeah, so. it's a good timing. I don't know if you want to kill the boss with Marcus. He does, again, I think I brought this up in an earlier chapter. If Marcus kills a boss, he gets, like, so much less experience from everyone else. Like, it's way worse than, like, Seth killing a boss. Also because the growth are bad. So, but I think giving it to someone else is so difficult. Like, anyone besides Rutger, it's just, please hit, and if you don't, you're probably dead.
I have some supports.
That's true. That's true. You're still at C between Cavs and that's it, right? There's no Roy support, there's no B between the Cavs.
I don't remember if there's Roy support, but I don't think there is.
I mean, they've been building it at least while Marcus was sitting there. You probably didn't have any issues with the support cap per chapter, right? You've been pretty diligent about separating people that have supports, probably. Or just not.
I mean, like, I don't think I spend enough turns on a map to hit the support cap anyway. And it doesn't really matter either way. Like I'll just build it the next chapter or whatever.
Alright, smartly, I think you idle with Marcus so that he can just enemy phase after throne healing, and now he's really low. So now you can probably give to anyone you want to as long as they hit.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Chat with the XP bonus, very nice. And Luke gets the kill. wonder what his stats look like right now.
Let's see.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, they're better now than they were before. I guess I'll put it that way. He didn't get a whole lot
He
from
had
his
a
first
really
level.
bad first level.
Yeah.
Look, Lou is another one of those units that you'd like it if he can pop off early, but unfortunately his growths just don't really support that most of the time.
Yeah, he needs his promotion to really get somewhere. Until then, he's just going to be kind of like this. Maybe doubling, but not for a whole lot of damage. Ooh, it's
There we
here.
go.
Sea Lance Roy. Probably the worst between the two, because it's not double fire like Marcus, or like Alan Roy. But hey,
Yeah,
it's something.
you know, Roy, there aren't enough supports that Roy can feasibly get in a run where you're not support, like, you know, stalling for supports, because most of his are just, like, +1.
Yeah.
So it's like, what, the Cavs, Marcus, and Lilina. We are doing the Lilina one. I mentioned that before.
I was going to say, it's why you're in no rush to get Roy supports with the Cavs, is he needs 3 slots for Lilina A. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh, alright, well, that's chapter 4 for you. Well played, GG, good reinforcement grind. Very clean.
Thanks.
And we'll see you next time for chapter 5. Peace!
Bye!